Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Think Future podcast. I'm your host, Kit Calabucas, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. Now, one of the things I spoke about earlier was chaos, and how I love chaos. And I think the problem in our world today is that we don't experience enough chaos. We don't allow chaos into our lives. We are so focused on maintaining order that we don't even want a little tiny bit of chaos to come into our lives. Now the problem with that is that chaos is where creativity comes from. If it's not for a little bit of chaos, it's not for a little bit of randomness, if it's not for a little bit of something that just comes out of the blue, comes at you nowhere, maybe he's a black swan, maybe he's not a black swan. Where does the creativity come from? Where does the chaos come from? It doesn't exist. And I think what the problem is that we now live in this super hyper personalized world where everything that we see online has been crafted and curated by humans and algorithms alike to be exactly what we want in this little bubble. It's exactly what we want. Maybe sometimes they throw in a random thing or two, but the randomness is not far away. It's kind of like Brownian randomness. It's only slightly different from what you like to do. For example, Spotify, right? I mean, when you play a Spotify playlist or a Pandora playlist or whatever, it only plays stuff that it thinks you might like. If you've picked a track, it'll pick another track which is similar to the one you like. It won't go off and find some tracks that are completely different, completely out of the ordinary, something completely new that you've never heard before. You will never, ever hear that. I remember when I used to work with Yahoo Music, we thought to ourselves, let's see if we can throw in some new tracks. Let's see if we can throw in some serendipity. Let's see if we can expose the user to something new and different. Let's say they liked, I don't know, jazz music. Maybe throw in a classical piece. Maybe throw a rock piece in. Maybe throw a funk piece in. It doesn't even have to have any jazz components at all. Maybe we can help them to expand their thinking, help them to expand the kinds of music that they like. And I think in most cases, it worked really well. I mean, they can always skip it. They can always skip it if they wanted to. But I think that kind of thinking has disappeared now. I think we are so driven by the algorithms, and it's like a chicken and egg problem. Do we enjoy the algorithms because they're so honed to what we want? Or do we really are we really a slave to these feeds? Are we a slave to the algorithms? And even if we go in there and try to work on them, you got to remember, it's not just what we want. It's whatever the company is that wants to display in front of us, and whoever pays the most to get in front of us. All of this stuff has been constructed. It's curated. It's not real life. It's not reality. It's inside of the bubble. But what I think we need to do, I think we need to introduce more of that randomness into our lives. We need to introduce more of that chaos into our lives. We need to see things that no one has seen before. And I was mentioning before, companies like StumbleUpon, where it allowed us to see new things. And I came across a website called GimmeSerendipity.com. And GimmeSerendipity.com is a little bit like StumbleUpon, where you can look at a new site and then click another button and it takes you to a completely different site that you've never seen before. It goes into categories, just like StumbleUpon did. Now, right now, it's quite of a limited set of things to look at, but it's already put me into completely new things that I'd never seen before. And I think we all need to. I mean, there's startups ideas out there. I think we all need to think about how we can re-inject randomness into our lives, because the randomness is being removed. The randomness is gone. I mean, one of the things I talk about when it comes to serendipity is that a lot of invention, a lot of innovation, a lot of creativity comes from serendipity, in the fact that you've taken a bunch of things and you put them together, or two things, and you mash them up together, and you haven't thought of mashing those things up together unless you're exposed to this new thing. And with the feeds and the bubbles that we live in right now, we never get exposed to anything new. We never get exposed to anything different unless it follows our worldview. And that's why I'm saying tools like that. And here's another one, Forgotify. Forgotify is a really cool tool, really interesting. Basically what it does is it goes into the Spotify catalog and it captures everything that's never been listened to, not even once. It has 0 plays. And it has 0 plays, meaning no one has listened to it. So when you go into Forgotify and you say play something, you know that no one else on the Spotify network has ever heard this track before, because the track numbers, the track plays are 0. And the music could be crap, but it could be amazing and could open your mind to completely new things. Now the reason I'm telling you about this is that that's a minuscule number of tools that help us to discover new things and create new connections and build new innovative ideas. That's 2. That's 2. Where is the creativity? Where is the randomization engine of the internet? Where is the old random button on Yahoo that I used to be able to press to take me somewhere I've never been before and maybe open my mind up to new ideas? That doesn't exist anymore. That doesn't exist anymore. And it would be great if someone could just build that again.